Alright guys, welcome back to the video, welcome back to the channel, and if you'll notice, there's no Jeep sitting here today. That's because over the weekend, we moved it inside the shop and started putting the motor in it. Now that's not the point of today's video, but I'm going to give y'all a little bit of update. So, alright guys. So hopefully if the lights work, yeah, look at that. We'll get to that in a minute. But the motor is in, sitting right here. It's in there. It's mounted. Transmission bolted up. Everything else. Got some silicone tacking up here. Then we're gonna put this valve cover on it, and maybe even have it running tonight. This is Monday. I made the last video on Thursday, but I was sick most of the weekend, so I didn't get much done. But we did get the motor in it. So, also, let's see, the new torque converter's in it. Got the new head gaskets and exhaust gaskets in it. I got, like I said, both the motor mounts are in and tight. Got the throttle body put back on it right here. I got that stuffed in there so stuff don't get down in the throttle body. Let's see, what else? I got a new thermostat for it here. I got the new thermostat, new cap and rotor button in here, right there. And I got new plugs, new spark plugs, somewhere. Here they are. There's some Bosch platinum plugs for it. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully this thing will be running tonight. Had to do some reorganizing here. Put the Timberwolf over here, move the Furies for the white truck, and then all the Jeep parts here. I am gonna have to go get a alternator for it sometime this week, so I'm not gonna get it started tonight, but I'm hoping to have it running tonight, because my alternator is missing. I don't know where it's at, but that's not a big deal. So also back here we got the AC condenser and the compressor for the AC. Pulled the hood off of it and give a little bit more room and such as that. So, but like I was saying, also we got new fluids for it, oil, transmission fluid. Got a new transmission filter, new air filter, oil filter, coolant. Gonna pick up some distilled water tonight and hopefully get this thing back together. But that is not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is on the building a custom bumper. So I'm gonna move some stuff around and I'll get back on here in a second. Alright guys, so the point of today's video is, again, it's about building the bumper for the Jeep. I got everything set up right here, just making some measurements and such. But my grandpa actually mentioned this to me. You need to know what materials to use. You know, this Jeep, I got a 12,000 pound winch. You know, you don't want to use stuff like this metal here, this real thin plate, and you know, it wouldn't really make sense to use the factory 3 holes in the frame to mount that bumper, especially for you know, as thin as that crap is and flimsy. I mean, I can take this and bend it. So that's not something you want to mount a 12,000 pound winch that you expect to pull yourself out or pull somebody. Now I bought, for building this bumper, again I bought this 12,000 pound winch right here. Right there. So you want it to be big enough to where you can mount this winch, you know, where it won't be in the way. So what I'm going to do, I got 2 pieces of C-channel. I'm going to weld them together, build some gussets, strengthen it up, and then I'm going to plate it on the top and bottom to add a little bit more strength. Now this front piece right here isn't as heavy as the back, but you know, you don't really need it to be as heavy as this back piece. But the front is some C-channel that we use for putting slide-in ratchet straps on a trailer. So it's kind of, I'm going to cut this off, clean it up, but it's pretty thick, you know, pretty thick stuff. But if you compare this, you can see the thickness there, but if you compare this to this other piece, you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about right there. So that's pretty thick stuff. Now, like I said in the first video, I'm going to cut this down to about 3 feet, because like I talked about, this up here, by the time I add my plates for the tie-ins, is going to be about 32. So want to build it a little bit wider, that way the frame isn't exposed and I have a point to put lights or whatever I want on here. So it'll probably come out to about there on each side. So it ought to be plenty wide enough, and it'll be big enough to put the winch. But like I was saying, you know, you want to pick materials that are strong enough to do what you want to do. Now, you know, some people built their own custom bumpers that I've seen on YouTube use 1/4 inch plate, and that is good. You know, that's fine. But you don't want to use, you can overbuild it, don't underbuild it. You know, you don't want to use sheet metal that flexes when you push on it, or you know, little cheap flimsy stuff like we have our heated mounted on. Just stuff like that. You know, you don't want to pull your bumper off and then be stranded or whatever. So like I said, you can overbuild it. You know, if you want to use 1/2 inch, you know, if it works for what you're doing, use it. If that's what you got laying around, use it. But don't underbuild it. You know, like the 420. If I can show y'all here. Let me pull this thing back. I built the winch mount for this thing. It's probably overkill for what we got going on, but you know, hey, it is what it is. It's strong enough. I have picked this up on the back rack with that winch when I did the clutches and all that kind of stuff. So it's plenty strong enough for the purpose. Now another thing is weight. Depending on what you're doing, weight doesn't really matter. I wanted to keep this Jeep kind of light, so you carry more stuff and not bog down the motor and stuff like that. Especially since I'm leaving the stock gears in it for now. If I keep it, I might re-gear it, but I'm kind of on the fence of keeping it or getting rid of it. So that's that's something that I gotta figure out. Also, I need to get some four-wheeler stuff going. I got all that motor stuff, and then I got some stuff over here and over there and everywhere. But anyways, back to the Jeep. Like I said, you don't want to underbuild it. If you can, overbuild it. You know, make it be more than capable. You know, like that stuff that I'm using is way overkill for that 12,000 pound winch, but you know, it is what it is. I know that that stuff over there is going to hold up, and also with the frame tie-ins that I'm going to use, that's going to come way back to about here on the frame, or somewhere around in here. It'll come back past the steering box. Also, I got to get another reservoir line cracked, but the frame tie-ins are going to go back to about the sway bar, so that'll be plenty strong enough for my uses. And guys, I'm hoping to have this thing out of here in a couple days, drive it around such as that. But I think that might be it for today. But like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece. This is about 6 foot long, so I'm going to cut it down to 3 foot, cut it in half, and I'm going to cut this down just enough for the winch to sit inside or sit on top of it. So if you can imagine, I'm going to line that up down there. I'm going to cut this much off of it, just so it's just big enough for the winch. And then I'm going to weld some pieces on that to kind of go to the other piece. That way it all looks like it was built that way and such. So it's not like I throw together, you know, whatever, you know. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some gussets out of this. This is some pretty thick stuff. You can see there, it's pretty good. It's definitely better than not having anything. And I think I also have some more plates out here. And yes, it is raining again, but yeah, I have this plate over here as well that I can use, as well as some stuff over here. But I'm gonna see what I can make out of it. This will be my first bumper, except for the move bumper on the white truck up there. So hopefully it'll turn out pretty decent. I think I want to do a pod on each side of the winch and a D-ring shackle underneath, but we will figure that out. So sorry, this wasn't a lot of action, guys. I still feel horrible, but I needed to get out of the house for a little bit, make a video, work on the Jeep a little bit. So, but guys, if you liked today's video, please drop a like and comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, that way you get notified when I post a video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope y'all have a great day. And also, one more thing real quick is more bumper updates are going to be coming as soon as I get my bumper tie-ins. I need the bumper tie-ins to kind of place everything and get this spacing for the grill, because I'm not sure how far it's going to come from here out, but I need to get my spacing. I need to get the grill on so I can figure out all that kind of stuff. But hopefully those should be here within the next couple of days.